How you doing?
So getting Jalen Moss back, if he's able to go, what would that do for you guys?
Well, it's great. I mean, an opportunity to get a guy back where you invested a lot of reps with in spring, and training camp helps, I think, because you invested a lot of time, formations, and energy into a guy who thought would be part of our deal. So it's really good to add some more depth to the wide receiver core. Maybe it'll mix up the personnel a bit more, which is good for us.
What are the attributes about him that you really like that made you want to bring him in?
Well, he's a veteran guy who's played a lot of snaps. I think there's some control passing and areas of strengths for him that I thought would lend to our strengths in regards to playing catch, normal downs. And, I'm not going to be a complete vertical threat. I don't think that's really what you brought him in for. I think a guy who could play around, who'd been around a bunch of ball, who knew about perimeter blocking and all this. Now, to be able to get hurt and be down a few weeks, he's going to have to get some rust off. But
Coach, we talked about this before briefly about Jared just being on the doorstep of making that big play. How good did it feel to finally get him that one last week?
Super excited because we've tried to be taking a couple shots with him down the field, and he hasn't had an opportunity to make those plays. To make that big play in that moment, to really be a catalyst to get things going was really cool.
For you having to kind of see how you guys are going and developing in the red zone offense, what do you make about having the bye week now to kind of evaluate where you guys are at and improve going forward?
Yeah, always good to have now kind of a chance to catch your breath, look at who you are as an offense, different than where you were maybe last year, who you were before, who you hope you're going to be, who you are, and find out exactly what we can do with the personnel we've got, and how we can attack that differently, how I can coach it better, how we can find different ways and angles and creations and one-on-ones that may help us, with this group. And so to have a week to get through it and get our guys dialed in is good, really good. Always get a chance to reflect.
Did it feel limiting at all in that respect to be so reliant on 12 personnel like early in the season?
I mean, it can be. I mean, you end up with, I don't want to call it one-dimensional, but you're in one group. You're in one group, and you don't want to overload guys with what you ask them to do. And I think I got to do a better job of coaching and moving guys around, maybe being more creative with certain guys, finding out what you can do with this group versus other groups. And I'm excited about that because that guy's been awesome with it, and the challenge is something that as coach you get excited about doing. All competitors hope to get an opportunity to get better. That's part of it.
Almost
offensive line. I mean, Coach talked about obviously leading the conference in rushing, but I mean, just how they've developed and come along since you guys started in the spring.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that group with the chemistry we've talked about for a lot. The internal group with Leaf going out, Ben moving over, having some new guys at guard that have to count on reliably every day. To be able to find that chemistry, and I mentioned it early on in the season, that's a special chemistry that really goes unspoken in a lot of ways because there's no stats to relate to it in regards to you won't see it until it comes to light. And there's certain instances where we got to do a better job. I do a better job where those things could come to light. Short area, low red zone, short yardage, where things become one-on-ones. It becomes half-court basketball in set plays, and you got to be really, really good at those set plays. And so we're finding out we got to get better at those situations. Maybe create some different types of looks, and give those guys an advantage with angles or whatever we may do. And so that's the task we've got.
Jordan said something that made me wonder. Had you guys run that play that was his fourth quarter touchdown previously this season?
Yeah,
you had.
We ran it at Wyoming. It split his finger. We dropped it at NAU. We missed protection, and it was a touchdown missed, and then this one again. So it's been one of our staple plays. It's one of those ones he said it finally hit because you're we're calling, there it is. Oh, finally, there it is. Yeah. So it was a good deal. Those guys executed it well. Got the ball in the hands of playmaker. Should have had a couple before that where he was open as well. But we found him late in that down. Had to wait till fourth, unfortunately, to get there. But
what's that trust factor like with a couple of your star players in those moments to trust them when they say they can make a play, they make the play?
I mean, that's what we've built. Obviously between those two guys, even now league with three, guys who are getting the chemistry between the quarterback or the run game on first and second downs and explosive plays. But I mean, between 0 and 10, I mean, they've done what we do. Right? And that's calling those guys to make the big plays. They did last year. They did it this year. That's not the issue. We got to make sure we're not taking each other's turns at stopping us or slowing us down. So those guys we're calling on them and they'll make the plays.
Coach Kenny was kind of talking about the running back snap distribution and whatnot. He was talking about how you guys really need to find a back that can win those reps in goal line situations. Is that kind of the role that you have in mind for Kanye moving forward?
I don't know if it's going to be. I'm not putting any person in any of those roles. It might be a spot where on those shorter situations, maybe it's a different scheme, maybe it's some different stuff that we believe we got to put guys in a different situation for one reason or the other. Any of those backs we call on in any of those situations, we hope the prominent guy, whoever's in that role, can get that done. Whether it's going to be Leak, whether it's Sip, whether it's going to be Kanye. If it's Kanye in the short yardage, then Kanye, let's go get it. If it's Leak doing something, then let's do that too. I think it's going to be a together deal. It's never going to be an independent deal. That's how I roll.